Today we are going to cover mostly on overview of the reporting tools that we have, what reporting is all about, what is actually Oracle Fusion Cloud is all about, and today is mostly on overview session. So as Bipra, as you said, we can see about when do we go for OTBI report and when do we go for BI report, all those kind of overview session we would have today. So when the very first overview is going to be about what Oracle Fusion Cloud is all about, especially Oracle Fusion Financials, and why do we use reporting, what is all about reporting, and then we would go to analytics and reporting tools that we have in Oracle Fusion, which is I will start with the reporting that are there in Oracle Fusion Financials and the tools that we have. So I will explain you what are the tools that we have and the overview of it and the features of it, the basic understanding of those tools, if whether you would have to have some tools installed on your local machine, or do we have any functionality on Oracle Fusion Cloud itself to access those tools. All those kind of information we would discuss today. Now, starting with financial reporting overview, as I said, I'm going to start with what Oracle Fusion Financials is all about. First of all, this is just one of the Oracle ERP applications, but this is a cloud application. That's the only major difference that we have between Oracle EBS application and Oracle Fusion Financials. And if you see Oracle Fusion Cloud, since this is a cloud application, you can access everything on a web page. You don't need any kind of forms, or you don't need any Java to be installed before on your local machine to access the forms. The only when I migrated implementing from Oracle EBS to Oracle Fusion Cloud, the only thing that I loved about Fusion Cloud is you don't have to worry about the Java installations on your local machine. Most of the times our forms won't work due to these incorrect installations, right? So you need not worry about that. In cloud, it's just a web page. It's hosted on it could be hosted on a public cloud, or it could be hosted on a private cloud. Mostly it is hosted on public cloud, where users can access their application in the enterprise. So when we go, so Oracle Fusion Cloud has a lot of offerings, like it has supply chain management, it has project portfolio management, it has human capital management. Patricia, I think for you human capital management would be more relevant because you have implemented a lot of HR related modules, right? So for you HCM module would be more relevant. But still, financials also would be relevant for most of us, because one of the stable offerings of Oracle Fusion Cloud is Oracle Fusion Financials. So under Oracle Fusion Financial, we have two more sub offerings, which we call it as Oracle Core Oracle Fusion Financials and Oracle Fusion Accounting Hub. So Oracle Fusion Accounting Hub deals mostly with integrating other applications with our Fusion application General Ledger. If we want to integrate, if you want to integrate your Oracle Fusion General Ledger directly with other applications, then you go into this amazing functionality called as Oracle Fusion Accounting Hub. But in this course, we would be concentrating mostly on Oracle Fusion Financials, which has a lot of modules like General Ledger, accounts receivables, account payables, fixed assets, expense management, and cash management. I was thinking of explaining you guys more about these modules, but since you guys have worked on other ERP applications, I don't think I need to explain you more on what these modules are for, right? So this is what is all about our Oracle Fusion Cloud.
Now these, like the database tables in the cloud, are they similar to EBS, or are they very different in terms of the database? Yeah.
No, they are 90% similar. If you look at the database tables, they are 90% similar to your EBS tables. Only some of the table names have been changed. But the only change that is there between Oracle EBS and Fusion Cloud is, in Oracle EBS, you could access your database server. You could use a SQL developer or a Toad to log into the database server and write a SQL query and do some manipulations. You can create your own custom tables in the database, right? But that is not possible in Oracle Fusion Cloud. In Oracle Fusion Cloud, they won't give you the database access. You can't simply go and create your custom tables. You can't delete any data from your base tables directly through a SQL query. So all DML actions are restricted in Oracle Fusion Cloud. So so that is the major difference between Oracle EBS and Oracle Fusion Cloud. That is why, since they have restricted the access of the application's database, they have introduced more reporting tools, so that you can easily retrieve the data and present the data to business users in whatever way that we want, right?
Yes.
So that is the main difference between these two. So before we know what reporting tools that we have, or before we understand the reporting aspects of Oracle Fusion Cloud, we should know why do we use reporting, right? So we already know that the main objective is to pull the application's data and show it in a nice manner to business users, to do decisions on major business aspects, and we can also use that for our data analysis, and we can use it for our reconciliation on all those stuff. So that is our major main objective of reporting, right? And yeah, as it is self-explanatory, we also, with the analysis or with the data output that we retrieve using the reporting tools, we can easily find out the health and productivity of a business or an enterprise. Now, the major place where the reporting comes in handy is, apart from developing reports to your business users, or apart from developing reports to do the data reconciliation, the main areas is when you do conversion, a huge data conversion, or when you do a huge data integration. That's when reporting comes in handy. So let's say your enterprise is implementing Oracle Fusion Cloud, and they, as Patricia, you guys said, you already have a lot of applications that are used by your enterprise. So when you guys convert data from other applications to our Oracle Fusion application, we cannot simply log in and check the data, right, manually. It is really tough to check the data manually. So since we have the reporting tools, we can quickly write a BIP query with the conditions. We might have any specific columns which we can use to differentiate the converted data, right? So we can use that specific column data in our SQL query, and we can quickly write a BIP report, or we can even write a OTBI report to see the converted data. So in that case, it helps the technical folks of the team also, who has converted the data. They can reconcile it with the legacy system data and the data that has gone into our Fusion application. So for conversion team, it comes really helpful for reconciling the data. Following that, we have the same case for integration team as well. So no matter what integration tools we use, we have our ways of notifying the user with through emails that the integration is complete, that the data is imported. But in order to let the integration folks, or the integration respective IT team member, to let them know how much data has been imported in Oracle Fusion application, that's when reporting comes into picture. In case of conversion and also integration, there are a lot of places where you would need data from the Fusion application. For example, IDs. If you want some IDs to be populated, so you have to pull the data from Oracle Fusion application, cross-check those ID with your legacy system data, and then populate an Excel, FPDI Excel file to move the data into Oracle Fusion application. In those cases, again, you will write a report to pull data from Oracle Fusion application. So it becomes really helpful. So when you understand by the end of this course, when you complete the reporting course, right, it is not that these reporting tools will be useful only for the reporting team, only for the reporting purposes. It will be useful for conversion and integration team as well to pull data from Oracle Fusion application whenever it is needed for their purposes as well. So following that, we also have a lot of graphical representation functionalities in our reporting tools where the user can quickly show a bar chart or a pie chart, and to provide that as a proof of their business statements, right? So these are the basic or major objectives of reporting that we usually use or that we usually follow during our consultation. Moving ahead with analytics and reporting tools overview. So, and now I'm going to cover the reporting tools that we have in Oracle Fusion and their overview. So let's get it started. And when we talk about Oracle Fusion Financials reporting, the basic platform that it is built on is referred as Oracle Business Intelligence Platform. And based on that platform, we have a lot of tools, mounted on it, which is used or picked according to our business requirements. And using those tools, our reports are, developed based on it. Now we have these 5 reporting tools, actually 6 reporting tools, which we use in Oracle Fusion Financials. The very first reporting tool is Oracle BI Publisher. We commonly refer that as BIP. And second one is Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence. We refer that as OTBI. And third, we have Financial Reporting Studio, which is referred as FRS. And fourth, we have SmartView. And we have 2 more reporting tools called as Account Inspector and Account Monitor. Now moving ahead with the type of reporting tools and the respective data sources that the reporting tools are going to use, I have created this picture to depict what kind of data sources that these reporting tools basically follow. So we have Oracle Financial Reporting, which is mounted, which has our OBIEE platform. So this Oracle Financial Reporting box that you see here, let's consider that as OBIEE platform. So on top of that, we have Essbase Cube and transactional data. So these two are different kinds of data sources that we have in Oracle Fusion. So when we come to let's take the transactional data source first. So these are nothing but our basic 2-dimensional data tables that you have in your database. Those are that gets created whenever a data is entered or whenever a data is loaded in Oracle Fusion application. The moment you load or you enter a transaction in Oracle Fusion application, these gets entered in our transactional database, which is nothing but your normal tables like your supplier table or invoice table, whatever tables that we have. So this becomes really easy for you guys to pick up because it is like EBS only. So based on these database, we have 2 reporting tools, which is our OTBI reporting tool and BI Publisher reporting tool. Now we have another data source which is called as Essbase Cube. So what happens is in EBS we used to write queries, we used to do joins, and especially for general ledger when we have to get a particular balance for a specific code combination, we used to join that with GL code combinations and check the code combination ID, all the joins and everything. It becomes difficult for the SQL engine also to run that and pick up your balance, right? So for that, what Oracle Fusion guys have done is they have created a feature called as Essbase Cube, which is nothing but a database created specifically for your general ledger balances. So let's say you are into a business requirements meeting where the business users say, I don't want to waste my time in just in pulling what kind of balance that is there in my in my specific GL code combination in a specific chart of accounts code combination. I don't want to waste my time in writing a SQL query in designing my report output, how the report should look like. I don't want to waste my time. They say, can we quickly do do a drag and drop functionality report? Can we quickly use a reporting tool which is really quick in getting my balance? So in that case, for that case specifically, Oracle Fusion has created this Essbase Cube. So what happens is when you do a query in front end, this all three tools, right? This is that is FRS, Account Inspector, and Account Monitor, and Smart View. These are drag and drop. These have drag and drop functionalities, and using this, you can quickly drag some of the code combinations that you have, and you can quickly see the respective balance for these three. You can choose the accounting period also for this specific accounting period. What is the balance? So if you want to do that, on the business requirement call itself or on the meeting itself, you can quickly open this tool, drag and drop, show the user this is how it is, this is what it is. And if they say, okay, can you develop this in a neater way and save it and present it to me, then you can go ahead and quickly, in like 15 minutes, you can quickly put up some headings or some charts on the tool and then save it and present it to the client. So the Essbase Cubes became friendly for business users as well, because they don't have to rely on us, or they don't have to rely on the consultants or the developers, the pure technical developers. They can quickly go ahead and they can create their own reports for their use as well, for their board meetings or for their important business decision meetings. They can also go ahead and create their own reports. So you can look at it this way. Essbase Cube is used for general ledger related reports. For example, balance sheet report, income statement report. Balance sheet and income statement report and all, it takes quite a longer time because you will have to add a lot of accounts to it, right? And if it is a very quick report, user can create it in like 10 minutes itself. So you can look at it this way. The left hand side, the Essbase Cube report is mostly used by and very useful for business users, a quick way of developing reports. And transactional data, OTBI is a quick way of developing report. I'm not saying BIP is very tough. It is a very nice report, but it is mostly used by conversion team, integration team, and the core technical team to develop a very customized report. So if user wants more customization, that's when we go into BI Publisher report. So these are the basic differences between all these reports that we have. So let's start with FRS report. As I said, FRS is one of the tools that is used to create ad hoc reports on an FRS tool, and then open that in Oracle Fusion application to show it to our clients. So we have two areas in our FRS reports. First thing is our tool, which is used for development. The next thing is our workspace, which is used to see the reports, view the reports, access the reports, input your parameters, and run the report and download the report output to some specific format. All these things you can do it using the workspace. And the second point is about how these FRS reports are report data is pulled out. So these data is pulled out based on the Essbase Cube, which I said is actually, if you look at the transactional database data, it is actually a simple 2D table type, right? But if you look at the GL Essbase Cube, it is a multi-dimensional cube where you will have a lot of dimensions, like all your chart of account segments would be considered as each dimension. For example, your legal entity or company or department or cost center, your intercompany segment, your future segments, all these segments, each segment would be considered as one of the dimensions. And along with that, you would have your balance amount, you would have your currency, you would have your scenario, all those extra GL related dimensions also. So when you drag and drop a dimension in your financial reporting studio, right, what happens, since this is connecting to Essbase Cube directly, it will hit right exactly that particular cell where you have the balance amount generated. For example, since you have let's take an example of AP invoices in transactional database. What happens, if you want to get the line level details, you will have to go to the header details and take the respective line ID and go to the line table and take the respective line details, right? You will have to do a join between your header table and line table to get your line level details. But here in GL, in GL SBS Cube, since all your segments, you don't have to worry about checking your code combination segment one by one, checking your segments one by one. For example, what is my cost center, what should be the respective balance amount that I should be considering. All those kinds of single level viewing you need not worry about. Since this is multidimensional, it will directly go to the specific cell with your dimension values that you have mentioned. For example, if you have mentioned a code combination for legal entity 101, for company 002, and for intercompany 001, what is my balancing amount, and what is my respective accounting period. So if you want to give an input to your accounting periods for, let's say, for Jan 2020, what is the balance amount that we have? What is the period activity amount that I have? What is the ending period activity that I have? So since all these period activity and your accounting period and your COA segments are stored as dimensions, it is easy for your FRS report to just connect to the cube and take the balance amount directly. So the retrieval is quite easy in this case. So this is why it is very user friendly for all business users. They don't have to worry about the backend processing that is going on. They just have to do the drag and drop. They just have to give the values for all their dimensions, and voila, you will get your balance amount right at your report.